Здравствуйте, это Galina. Hi, this is Galina, and I know you remember, but I will repeat you again. It is my Russian language video course for beginners from NotesForRU. And today we are not going to study anything new. We will just repeat all grammar topics that we already learned. And it is our first revision lesson. I will keep this lesson as short as I can, but you know we already learned so much of information, so it might be a bit longer. Let's start. At first, we learned that in Russian language we don't need to put articles and we don't need to use the verb to be in the present tense. For example, to say I am the champion, in Russian language you just need to form the simple sentence Я чемпион. And you can see there is no article here and there is no verb to be, am. Or another example, my mother is Russian. Моя мама русская. In English language it was the verb to be. Here is, in Russian language you don't need to put anything. And another example, you are a doctor. Ты доктор. In English sentence it was article a and the verb to be are. In Russian language you don't need to use both of them. That was simple rule. Next, also we know few useful words to create simple sentences and questions. Это, which means this, it, that. For example, это моя мама, this is my mother. Вот and вон, which can be translated as here is, here are, when we show something. For example, вот моя мама, here is my mother. Не, not when we need to say negative sentence. Да, which means yes, and нет, which means no. Да and нет we can use to answer simple questions. And let's now repeat how to form simple sentences and questions in Russian language. I will just give you example of simple sentences because there is nothing difficult to form the simple sentence in Russian. Это машина. This is a car. Вот моя мама. Here is my mother. Вон мой дом. Here is my house. Это не мой сын. This is not my son. We use the word не here. And we can ask a simple general question in Russian just by changing an intonation. You do not need to change the order of words. Let's look at these examples. Russian sentence. Это твоя улица. This is your street. In English language, to ask a question, you need to change the order of words. Is this your street? In Russian language, we don't need to do this. We will just have to put a question intonation. Это твоя улица? Is this your street? Quite simple in Russian. And to answer simple questions, you can use words да, which means yes, or нет, which means no. Это твой папа? Is it your father? Да, это мой папа. Yes, it is my father. Or you can answer just да. Это твой папа? Да. Yes. I would say short answer, it's more common in Russian language because we normally don't answer in a long way, but we will still have to learn it. And another question. Это твоя школа? Is it your school? Нет. Это не моя школа. No, it is not my school. And again, you can answer in a short way, just нет, which will be more common in normal conversations. Это твоя школа? Нет. Let's repeat what we know about gender of Russian nouns. As you remember, all Russian nouns have three genders: feminine, masculine, and neuter. To understand the gender, you just have to look at the last letter of the noun. And this last letter, we name this letter ending. Feminine nouns will end with R or я. For example, зима, winter, мама, mother, щетка, brush. Masculine nouns will end in a consonant. Поезд, train, фрукт, fruit, музей, museum. And neuter nouns will end with e or o. Облако, cloud, яблоко, apple, море, sea. And you have to remember these two cases. Nouns ending with the soft sign, this is the soft sign, can be masculine as well as feminine. Native Russians will understand this without thinking, but foreigners will need to learn the gender of every noun ending with the soft sign. For example, ruble, you can see the soft sign, it's ruble. It's a masculine noun. Why it is like this, I cannot tell you. Площадь, square, again soft sign, but it will be feminine noun. There is no reason why it's like this, you just have to remember it. And also, you have to understand that animate nouns ending with R or ya can be masculine, depending on the meaning. You will understand this very easily. Papa, this noun ends with R. And sometimes we can say, okay, if a noun ends with R, it's a feminine word. No. Papa is father, it cannot be a feminine word, it's a masculine word. Similar with dядя, uncle, ends with ya, it's a feminine ending, but this noun is masculine. And one more thing, why we have to know the gender of a noun? Just because every noun will be combined with a particular form of an adjective or a possessive pronoun. And adjectives also will have 3 genders, and possessive pronouns will have 3 genders forms. So we have to know the gender of a noun to put an appropriate form of an adjective or a possessive pronoun. And now let's repeat the gender of possessive pronouns. We know just 3 pronouns for now. Твой, which means your, мой, which means my, and ваш, which also means your, but in a more formal way. And these pronouns will have 3 gender forms. Моя, твоя, ваша, these are feminine forms of the pronouns. And they will combine with the feminine nouns, of course. Моя мама, my mother. Твоя гитара, your guitar. Ваша фамилия, your surname. Мой, твой, ваш will be combined with the masculine nouns. These are masculine forms. Мой папа, my father. Твой фрукт, your fruit. Ваш поезд, your train. And neuter forms. Моё, твое, ваше will be combined with the neuter nouns, of course. Моё яблоко, my apple. Твое утро, your morning. Ваше упражнение, your exercise. Also, we have to repeat gender of adjectives. You remember that we divided all Russian adjectives into 4 categories. Hard adjectives, soft adjectives, and 2 special types. About special types, I will remind you a little bit later. Hard adjectives, most common in Russian language. They will have quite simple endings. These are masculine endings, these are feminine endings, and these are neuter endings. Just let's look at hard adjectives. Красивый, молодой. Красивый, beautiful, молодой, young. For example, красивый папа, beautiful father. Молодой папа. Difference between this is just ой is an stressed ending. Красивая мама, молодая мама. Beautiful mother, young mother. Here doesn't matter whether it's stressed or unstressed. Красивое дерево, молодое дерево. Beautiful tree, young tree. This are neuter. Soft adjectives in the masculine form will add a ни. Синий, blue, летний, summer, утренний, morning, etc. And it will have little bit different endings in all forms. Синяя, blue. Синяя лампа, blue lamp. Синее море, blue sea. And one more thing. The dictionary form of every adjective is masculine form. In all Russian dictionaries, you will see just one form of an adjective, and then you will need to change it. And let's talk about this group. Adjectives which has letters g, k, h before ending, and letters zh, sh, ch, sh before ending. Why we put them in a separate category? Because these adjectives will follow the Russian spelling rule number 1, saying that after these letters we cannot put the letter I. We should change I to I. And it will be a little bit different from the hard adjectives. It's just in a masculine form, unstressed ending. Instead of I, it will be I. Высокий, tall, свежий, fresh, дорогой, expensive, большой, big. Дорогой, большой, these are stressed form, and you don't need to think about it. Feminine form of both groups will be similar to hard adjectives. Neuter form will be almost similar, apart from this form. You will just have to put ye instead of oye. So this will be similar with this. Свежее means fresh. For example, свежее молоко, fresh milk. Большое море, big sea. These were forms of Russian adjectives. If you have time, you can just pause this video and look through this information just to memorize it better. And let's repeat all adjectives that we already know that you can do maybe exercise later. Красивый, beautiful. Большой, big. Синий, blue. Летний, summer. Новый, new. Молодой, young. Свежий, fresh. Горячий, hot. Строгий, strict. Высокий, tall. Тихий, silent or quiet. And the last topic we learned was about cases of Russian nouns. You remember that every noun in Russian language will have 6 forms, 6 different cases, and every form will be different from another form just depending on the meaning and position in the sentence, etc. And we learned just 2 cases, nominative case and the prepositional case. Nominative case, it's quite simple. It's the subject case. It's the main form of the noun. Only subject in the Russian sentence can be given in the nominative case. All other words, all other objects in the sentence have to be changed and put in a different case. And nominative case is the dictionary form of the noun. You remember, if for adjectives the dictionary form was the masculine form, for nouns the dictionary form is the nominative case. That's why only in this form you can determine the gender of the noun. Examples of the nominative case. Моя мама красивая. My mother is beautiful. We are talking here about mother. Mother is the subject and mama will be nominative case. Это мой папа. This is my father. We're talking about father. Papa is the subject and it's nominative case. Это доктор. This is a doctor. Again, you understand, doctor, nominative case. Мой дедушка англичанин. My grandfather is English. Дедушка, grandfather, we are talking about him in this sentence. Дедушка is the subject and it is a nominative case. And last sentence which I missed. У меня есть гитара. In English language, you translate the sentence as I have a guitar. And I will be the subject. In Russian language, we have a different construction, and if you translate this sentence word by word, it will be something like Gitara exists to me. Sounds a bit strange, but in this sentence, Gitara is the subject. And second case we learned, the prepositional case. The main meaning is place or location. You know that we will use this case if we talk about someone's place or location of something. And with prepositional case, we can use 2 prepositions, v and na. they will be translated in the English in the same way: in, at, on. Again, depending on words they are following. In prepositional case, we will have one more preposition, but we will study it later. And you know that to put a word into prepositional case, you will need to change this word. And you will need to change the ending. Masculine words will have the ending "ye" in the prepositional case. Feminine also will change the ending to "e". It was "a", for example, and it will be "ye". And neuter also will have to change the ending to "ye", or they will leave "e", because some neuter nouns already have the ending "e". And you can see that we have also additional endings for the prepositional case. There are about some special nouns. For example, nouns ending in "e" will have the ending "e" instead of "e". Feminine nouns ending with "ia" will have ending "e" also instead of "e". For example, Anglia, в Англии, in England. Feminine nouns ending in a soft sign will also have the ending "и" instead of "e". For example, площадь, square, на площади, on the square. And neuter nouns ending in "ие" will also change the ending to "и" in the prepositional case. Упражнение, exercise, в упражнении, in the exercise. And these are all information you have to know about the prepositional case. Again, you can just stop this video for a few seconds and you can repeat all the endings. And these are just two endings, "e" and "и", for the prepositional case. Just remember, we will use the prepositional case when we need to talk about location. For example, я в городе, I'm in the city. Я на почте, I'm at the post office. Я в Англии, I'm in England, etc. These were all information we learned from our first grammar lessons. You can watch this video as many times as you want to repeat, and also you can start practicing with your Russian friends or Russian relatives. You can ask them to ask simple questions to you and you will answer them. Also, you can ask them to use prepositional case, nominative case. You can use as many forms of adjectives. What you can do, you can write down all adjectives you know and you can combine them with all nouns you know, and don't forget to put adjective in appropriate form. If you want more exercises, I created them for you. You can find them on my website NotesForRU.com. You will see the article about this revision lesson where you can download more exercises, and you can follow my Facebook page NotesForRU Online Russian Lessons. I hope it wasn't very difficult for you and you enjoyed learning Russian grammar, and I hope you will continue, and I will see you soon at the next grammar revision or vocabulary lesson. Bye! До свидания!